Hi, my name is Mackenzie, and today I'll be taking you through some banded intervals. So all you're going to need today is a little band like this. Choose the resistance of your choice. You can go heavier, you can go lighter. It's really up to you and what your body's feeling like today. But that's all the equipment we're going to need. So let's go ahead and get started with our warm-up. So we're going to do each movement for about 30 seconds. We're going to start with just taking the legs wide, and let's just bend over for a nice stretch. If you want, you could bounce around down here. You could go front, middle, back. Just kind of stretching out those hamstrings, stretching out the legs, getting us ready for today. You could take it over to one side and then the other. Just kind of getting us ready for today. Our next movement is going to be, we're going to go from keeping the legs wide, we're going to touch the ground, and then all the way up to the sky. Really think on trying to use your hamstrings and your glutes to raise your body up. Next movement is we're going to take it, not yet, but we're going to take it to a sumo squat. So keeping the legs wide, maybe bringing the heels in slightly. We're going to keep the chest nice and tall. Send the hips back and the knees out, and really using the glutes here to come back up. So let's go ahead, get started with those sumo squats, getting those glutes warmed up, and feel free to go as low as you can, trying to get to that 90 degrees. But if you're not there yet, that's fine. We're still warming up. Really make sure that we're sending the knees out wide. We don't want them coming in. We want them to be nice and wide here. Okay, now we're gonna bring the feet in under the shoulders, and we're gonna do some more air squats. This time, again, keeping the chest nice and high, sending the knees out, the hips back. Just taking these nice and slow. We're gonna go through these 4 movements one more time for our warm-up. Okay, take it back out to those wide legs and bend at the waist. If you want, you could also go from one side to the other, just stretching out that inner thigh here. Or you can just hang out here, bounce around a little bit. Next, we're gonna go from the ground to the sky. If you can't touch the ground, no worries. But just warming ourselves up here. Another 15 seconds here, then we'll get into our sumo squats. For all of these movements, feel free to go faster than me, go slower than me. This is just our warm-up, so let's get into those sumo squats now. You might even want to bring your legs in just slightly. If you want to maybe ramp it up a little bit, you can also go on the toes on one leg or the other. Or if you really want to try, you can also try both. We're just staying here another 10 seconds. Now, bringing the feet in for our air squats. "15 seconds left. Nice work. Okay, while I go over what our movements are going to look like for today, feel free to stretch anything you need to stretch, or if you want to stay warm, feel free to go ahead and start some air squats again. So just taking it nice and slow, coming back up, just so we stay moving and you stay working while I'm explaining these next movements. So from here on out, we will be in a quarter squat position for the majority of the video. So what that looks like, we're gonna put the band just above the knees. We don't want it on the knees, we want it to be just above. And then most of our movements will consist of being like this. So we're not in that full squat down here. We're about a quarter of the way down, engaging those glutes, engaging the hamstrings a little bit. But our first movement is going to be side steps with some kicks. So we're gonna do 5 side steps. And it doesn't matter how large your steps are, we just want them to be nice and controlled. Then once you get to the end of that 5, you're gonna shift your weight to one leg and you're gonna do 5 lateral kicks. So we wanna think that we are keeping this leg in one line. We're not going backwards, we're not going forwards with it. It is staying in one line. We're just gonna do 5 kicks like this, coming back down to that quarter squat position and over to the other side. 5 kicks here, and we'll repeat that. For each of these movements, we're gonna be going for 30 seconds. Our next movement is going to be a squat pull. So this time we are actually gonna get a little bit lower and we're just gonna stay here. This band should really force you to have to push those knees out hard, but we're just gonna stay here for the 30 seconds. Next movement, we're gonna do some monster walks. So what that looks like, again, quarter squat position. We're gonna send the feet slightly out. We're gonna send them back a few steps and then walk forward a few steps. Again, it's not about how fast you go, it's about your controlled movement, staying under tension. And we wanna think about, we're not turning, we're not gonna turn the foot out to step back. We're just going to almost sweep the foot through, but keeping those toes pointed ahead of us at all times. Then our last 2 movements. So in that quarter squat position, we're gonna shift the weight to one side. Feel free for any of these that require a little bit more balance. You can always come up to a wall and hold here. But we're gonna shift our weight to one side. Then this leg, we're gonna take back at about a 45-degree angle. Really focus on squeezing the glute here to bring that leg back. We'll do this for 30 seconds and then switch to the other side for 30 seconds. And then we have a rest. So we're gonna do all of that 3 times. So let's go ahead and get started with those side steps. So this is all that I have for you today. So we really want to try to transition quickly because there's no rest in between movements. Again, it's gonna be 30 seconds for each one. And let's go ahead and get started. We're starting with the side steps and kicks in 3, 2, 1. So staying nice and low. Really think about pushing off of that back leg. 5 kicks here and coming back the other way. Halfway. So try to get one more on each side. If you're going faster than me, again, try to make sure that we're getting those sides nice and even. And switch. Now we're going down to those squat pulses. So never standing all the way up, just staying nice and low here. Nice work. Really make sure that we're forcing the knees out here. Halfway. Ten seconds left, then we're going to those monster walks. So moving forward and backwards. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Going forward and backwards. Halfway. Three, 2, 1. 45-degree kicks. And we're gonna stay with the same leg for the entire 30 seconds because we will switch afterwards. And we're still staying slight bend in our standing leg. Nice work. Halfway. And 3, 2, 1, switch legs. Halfway. Nice work. We're almost done with our first round. Three, 2, 1, rest. Okay, we have a 30-second rest here. Grab water if you need to. If you feel like you don't need this whole rest, go ahead and let's get down into that quarter squat position and let's hold it here. So during this rest, kind of think about how did that first round go. So maybe can I go a little bit faster on some movements, or maybe I need to scale some movements back just so I can keep moving for the entire 30 seconds. And we're starting again in 3, 2, 1, side steps. And you really want to picture that it's the glute doing all of this work. And squat pulses. Nice work. Monster walks. I don't know about you, but your glutes should be starting to feel the burn now. We have to keep pushing through it. It's only 30 seconds for each movement. We're already halfway. And 3, 2, 1. We have those 45-degree kicks. These should be nice, slow and controlled movements. We're not swinging our leg back as far as we can. Just nice and controlled here. And we're switching in 3, 2, 1. Switch legs. Nice work, halfway. Keep pushing through it. And 3, 2, 1, rest. Okay, for this last round, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna actually put this around my ankles just to make it a little bit more challenging for some of those side-to-side movements. And then for the squat pulses, I'll bring it back up. But this will create a little bit more tension as we're going through. 10 seconds. Again, you can always get into that squat position if you're ready before the time is. We're starting with those side steps in 3, 2, 1. And remember, we're keeping these nice and lateral with the kicks. And we're controlling that back leg. And now squat pulses, you can keep them on your ankle or bring it up for these ones. Just to save time, I'm gonna keep it down. Nice work. This is our last round here, then we're done for the day. 15 seconds left. Then we're going to those monster walks. 3, 2, 1, monster walks. Legs are getting a little shaky on this last round. Again, staying in that quarter squat. We're not standing up here. We're staying low still. Halfway. And 3, 2, 1, 45-degree kicks. This is the last minute of work, and then we're done with this quick interval. "15 seconds left on this side. See if you can maybe get a little bit lower on that standing foot. In 3, 2, 1, switch legs. Halfway. And 3, 2, 1. Nice job. You can stand up now. Go ahead and take off the band. Make sure that you get a good stretch and really focus on stretching those glutes today. Thank you so much for joining me. We just did a quick interval band work. My name is Mackenzie, and I hope to see you again next week.